proper services. ENCA's Malungelo Boy has been tracking that protest, that march, and joins me now. So Malungelo, this time around, this community is marching on a Friday. Part of what has been called total shutdown, but also the use of the word Blood Friday, I think it is. But they had very specific demands. It wasn't just broad issues to say we are marginalized. They had specific demands for the Premier.
That's right. So, this goes back to about 2 weeks ago when we saw that young boy that lady in Westbury who was hit in a gang violence. We saw people protesting. And that's what really sparked many communities, many coloured communities in this province to take a stand against government, saying that you need to address the issue of drugs in our communities. You need to address the issue of gangsterism. But also, they're saying that they have these problems because they are marginalized. Government has completely forgotten about them, and they're saying that enough is enough. So they marched to Premier David Makura's office, and also they marched to the legislature with demands saying that actually we wanted to address these issues. These issues pertain really to they want to be included economically because they're saying that we have been forgotten altogether.
And they want government to prove, if government is maintaining that we've not marginalized the coloured community, they want proof of that, right?
It's quite incredible to us. One of the things they said to David Makura, saying that you and many other many officials in the Gauteng legislature have actually failed us because, one, you have not ensured that we are included in government programs. But they're saying to him that we want you to actually tell us, give us an audit. Give us an audit as to how many coloured people are employed in the provincial government. We want to know because we're saying that we are not included at all. But also they're saying that give us the list of all the coloured companies, coloured-owned companies that have benefited from government initiatives over the last 10 years. They've given them, to us, 7 days to do that.
To produce those details. Obviously, this talks to them linking what they say is the marginalization of the coloured community to the social ills that we see, such as the use of drugs, etc. David Makura himself coming out to receive the memorandum, what did he say?
Well, he has acknowledged, in fact, this was not the first time Premier David Makura comes out saying that actually we have neglected the coloured community. He has said it in the past, but now he's saying that, you know what, I have actually asked each and every MEC in my province actually to provide me with a report of exactly what their respective departments have done in coloured communities so that we can be able to address some of these issues that have been raised, that these communities are raising. And of course, what was also interesting for me, Tulasizo, was hearing members of the coloured community saying that actually we want the President himself to apologize to us for our marginalization and exclusion in the economy of this country.
And that continues to be a demand. So what else did David Makura say to them, Malungelo, by way of a response from government?
So what's going to happen now? David Makura is saying that, well, I've asked my MECs to provide me with those reports. I will report back to you to exactly what we have done and what we actually also need to do. But also, Tulasizo, we know that these communities will be marching to also the municipalities. They're saying to me next week, in fact, Tuesday, they'll be marching to the office of Herman Mashaba. They also want him to address some of the issues that they're raising.
Yeah, in fact, I think we can take a listen to the comments there from the Gauteng Premier David Makura.
I said to every department, I want an audit of service delivery let me start by saying every community in Gauteng. In every community in Gauteng. So we are doing that. We are sitting for 3 days next week. But I also said to the cabinet, I also want an audit of service delivery and development, specifically in the communities which I've said are neglected and there's underinvestment. Specifically. So that audit is already underway.
And you stated in black and white.
So that audit is already underway, because I also want to see in the communities that were neglected under apartheid, because you were neglected under apartheid. In the communities that were neglected from 1994, I want an audit of everything, from Rivali to Reiger Park, even to the other townships everywhere. I want an audit of that. So in 7 days, all I will do in 7 days is to sit with my cabinet.
Sure, strong words there from Premier David Makhura and a commitment to action. Malungelo, for now, thank you so much for coming through. This was a protest by representatives from 17
communities here in Gauteng.
Certainly, it seems that there's intensification of the action in these communities. Thank you so much. ENCA's Malungelo Boy, who's been tracking that protest throughout the day today.